What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. Let's immediately talk about Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, who hinted us when should we expect the very first interest rate cut. It is gonna happen most likely this year. So, in the most recent statements that Jerome Powell was giving to the media, he switched his attention to the jobs market and unemployment, when previously for almost around a year or so, every single statement, every single speech, every single interview he was giving, he was primarily focusing on the inflation. And if you think about it, inflation and the jobs market are exactly two main problems that the Federal Reserve tried to solve before they can start cutting the interest rates. Well, inflation, according to most recent statements by Jerome Powell, inflation is kinda budging, it is going down, the high interest rates are working, so they simply even did not want to wait until it hits the target of 2%, and they were like, okay, whatever, we're gonna start cutting the rates as soon as possible. We still need more data, however, and this quote-unquote more data they're referring to is to see if the jobs market is gonna respond well as well. And well, that's once again exactly what Jerome Powell started to pay more attention recently. He does not longer speak about inflation, which from these two problems was obviously the most dominant one. So they kinda see that the major problem is now kinda solved. Well, it is now time to think about cutting the rates. I do not think, like some people think, that the first cut will happen in July. According to my personal assumption estimation, we're gonna see the very first interest rate cut in September 2024, which is like, what, couple of months from the moment of this video. And we can see that the majority of market participants, they also think more or less the same. At this very moment, 56% of market participants, they expect, yes, the very first interest rate cut already in September of this year. At the same time, 87% of market participants, they think that first interest rate cut will happen somewhere before the end of this year. So as you can see, at least one interest rate cut will happen in 2024. 40% of market participants, they think that there will be 3 interest rate cuts within the next 12 months, and then 84% think that also in the next 12 months there will be at least 2 cuts. Pretty much allowing us to assume that the market does expect at least one cut this year, which will most likely happen in September. And since Jerome Powell, he likes to play along, he listens to the feedback of market participants, so most likely, a very good probability, the very first cut will indeed happen in September. And to end this relatively short video, I found a very interesting graph, which shows which of the investments benefits, no, I would not say the most, but definitely benefits from this Federal Reserve pivot, whenever they switch from maintaining or hiking interest rates and they start cutting them. And so the investment I'm talking about is the commodity, is the gold. As you can see from this graph, every single time there was a Fed pivot, and as soon as there was a cycle of rate cuts, the gold started to keep going up. The gold started to increase in value. This is a historical data. Obviously, you can never base your present and future decisions based on past data. But well, historically, once again, as you can see, this was the case every single time there was a Fed pivot. And obviously, in no way I'm urging you to sell everything and just invest in gold. This is just an interesting observation which I personally found. So it is just nice to know. It might be a good reason, good decision, good idea to diversify your portfolio in case you want to do it. Well, there I have it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. This was interesting, informative for both, and see you tomorrow.